Hi there. Tonight we're going to be having lasagna, so I'm going to show you my take on it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the ricotta cheese mixture that goes inside. For the ricotta cheese mixture, we got 15 ounces of ricotta cheese. I got this little cheat, it's basil. I'm going to probably use a couple of squirts of that. I've got an egg, I've got 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and I've got half a teaspoon of oregano. And then some salt and some pepper. So I'm going to mix that all together. And while I've got you here, I'm going to be making my lasagna in a 8x8 pan. I enjoy using the oven-ready lasagna flat rectangles rather than the wavy kind. To me, it just turns out better. For our spaghetti sauce, we're going to use Owen's hot pork sausage. I've done this recipe many different ways. This turns out to be the favorite way. You could do half hot sausage, half ground meat, but they can tell when I don't do the whole sausage. So we're going to use a whole sausage. We're going to use a couple of squirts of tomato paste. We're going to use half a teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of garlic, some black pepper, some oregano, probably a tablespoon of that. We've got 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, and then I've also got, my little cheat, the minced garlic in a bottle. That's about a teaspoon. And then I've got my crushed tomatoes. This is a 28-ounce can. And then I've got a large yellow onion that I've cut up. Okay, we're gonna call this a tablespoon of the basil. Like I said, we're gonna use half a teaspoon of oregano. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I'm gonna use 1 egg. And then I'm gonna get my salt and my pepper. Just a few dashes of salt, a few dashes of pepper. I'm gonna mix this together well. So I'm gonna cover this with saran wrap and I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator until it's time. To my 14-inch iron skillet, I've added a tablespoon of olive oil and I've put my onion in, and now I'm just gonna barely get this done because I'm gonna add my pork sausage and cook it all together. Now would probably be a good time to add the pork. So I'm gonna brown this pork up. Okay, I've added the minced garlic on top. This is probably, that's about 1 tablespoon. Do it 1 tablespoon and a half of the tomato paste. And I'm gonna let this blend in here, most likely for about 30 seconds to a minute, until you can smell the tomato, which shouldn't take too long. I turned my fire down too. It's probably on medium. And there it is. I can now smell the tomato. Now that I've added my tomato paste, once I can smell it, I'm going to add some of my seasonings in here. I've got my onion powder, my garlic powder, my pepper, and my oregano. Oh, let me add a little salt, just a little. I could have waited to add them to the sauce, but the oils in the pan and all that will help the flavors open up a little. So I'll do that for just a little bit. It's just to get them going. Now I'm going to add my can of crushed tomatoes. I originally turned my fire down because I didn't want this to, since I'm doing it in a skillet, I didn't want it to immediately start bubbling and boiling and get all over my shirt. Luckily it's not, so that'll give me the opportunity to give it a good stir, get it off the edges. Let me see where it is taste-wise. Oh yeah. Now I'm going to add my balsamic vinegar. No, I'm going to turn it down a little more. I'm going to add a part of a bay leaf and a cube of sugar. And go slow and low for the rest of the day. Trap some of those flavors. Since I didn't have a lid, I put some tinfoil on here. Let me check this out. Ooh. Whoa. Definitely needs a stir. It's just been on low. It's reduced a little bit, which I'm very happy about because, like I said, this is just going to go in an 8x8 pan, so I wanted to use as much as I could and not waste any. So wonderful. Alright, I'm going to taste it. Oh yeah, that's really good. That sausage has given a lot of the flavor that, you know, normally, if I would have used ground meat, I would have had to use more of all the other spices, but because that sausage is so flavorful, it kind of seasoned it all up for me. So now, I'm going to turn it off. Since this is going in my toaster oven, it doesn't take it very long to preheat. So I've set that to 375. To our cheese mixture, we're going to add half a cup of Parmesan cheese and 1 cup of mozzarella cheese and give that a good stir. I've got to move my operation. So, in my pan, I guess I'll spray it with a little Pam. And then we're going to take about this is a pretty big spoon. Maybe 2 spoons of our sauce. Spread it out on the bottom. You're going to want to be tempted to add the sheets first, but don't do that. You'll be asking for trouble. It won't cook. So anyway, see how nice and thin this sheet is? I love it. You could stack it as high as the pan will let you. Okay, so then I add that, and then I'm going to take a couple of big dollops of my cheese mixture and spread it out as best as I can. A little more. I try not to mix the red sauce because I want to keep it uniform looking. Okay, so I went this way, left to right, with my first set of pasta strips. Now I'm going to go up and down, and I'm going to alternate each time. On top of that sauce, I've got another half a cup here of mozzarella cheese that I'm going to sprinkle around. And also another half a cup of Parmesan cheese. Just a little pinch. Get that flavor in there. Okay, so let's see. We went, what did we do? Up and down. Now we're gonna go left to right. As long as it covers the pasta, you'll be in good shape. Doesn't have to reach all the way to the end. Okay, that was left to right. Now we're gonna go up and down. Add a little cheese. That was the mozzarella. This is the Parmesan. Okay, I'm gonna add the left to right. Are y'all keeping up? Did I do that right? Okay. So, I'm gonna have to put my last bit of cheese on top of here. Okay. And then my last up and down for the last bit of my red sauce. Because that's what you want to finish off with. Make sure it covers the pasta. More of that mozzarella cheese. Be easier if I was just grabbing it with my hand. Let me. Uh-oh. Kind of spread it out. Only because it makes it taste better. Okay, so now I'm gonna put some tin foil on here. I'm gonna tint this. I'll show you how. Okay, I've got my tin foil shiny side down. I'm gonna give this a spray with a little bit of Pam. Okay, and then I'm gonna put this creased like this on top of my casserole dish and crimp the edges. See where I spilt that? Shame, shame, shame. See, so that way it's kind of got an arch to it so my cheese doesn't melt. And I'm gonna stick this in my 375-degree oven. It could be oven, it could be toaster oven. In this case, toaster oven for an hour till it's bubbly. And then the last 5 minutes, take the tin foil off so that the cheese can get a little darker. Okay, it's been an hour, maybe an hour 10. See how it's kind of lifted up? That's a good sign that it's done. So I'm gonna leave this in here for about 3 to 5 more minutes, depending on your oven. And I'm going to let it sit afterwards for about 20 minutes, and then I'll serve it. Ooh la la. So here it is. I'm gonna let it sit. Gonna plate it up for you and let you know how it tastes. Okay, here it is. The flavors came together wonderfully. The basil inside that cheese mixture just goes so well with the sausage. It's incredible. You can see all the little different layers that it has. I really hope you try this recipe. I hope you give it a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you'll know when my next video is coming out. I just really thank you for stopping by. Have a good day.